At 6721W, what is the jury looking at?
These are some of the captured tweets from Mr. Williams' account.
All right, and if you could read for us the first two tweets on 21W.
So these say, I love my rock fam, and then he mentions at ROC Crew Daddy-O, at Young Zoo 1, at Maybach ROC Crew, hashtag follow now.
Okay, and then the second one?
The second one is a repost of a comment by at MeghannCuniff, who said, at Young Thug World, I seen it in with a Crip flag today, talking about he with the rock. And the response added on to the end is, boy, stop, never that.
Okay, and with Twitter, is the response, boy, stop, the comma, or period, never that. Would that be Young Thug responding to that initial tweet?
That's speculation. Oh, yeah. I should also say just in form. You can rephrase it.
Do you know how Twitter works?
I do.
And with Twitter, when the individual who is responding, where generally would the response be? Would that be before or after the quotation mark?
The post that's being replied to or reposted would be in quotations at the beginning of the post, and then the response would follow the end quotation.
So in this example, the quotation mark at MeghannCuniff, colon, at Young Thug World, I seen a nigga with a Crip flag today talking about he with the rock, quote, end quote, that would be what MeghannCuniff posted?
That's correct.
And then after that quotation would be the response?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Now looking at, 22W. What does it say in this tweet?
It says, if you want to know what Bleveland is, it's where the bloods be.
Okay, and as a gang investigator, is there any significance regarding any identifiers about bloods within this tweet here?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
Using the term Bleveland instead of Cleveland, and then saying explicitly that it's where the bloods be.
Okay. And based on your experience, were there bloods off of Cleveland Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We're going to go now to 24W. What does 24W say?
24W says, I think I might join Duct Tape because they with the hashtag BS and the hashtag ROC with the hashtag BS2, straight, and then two up arrows.
Okay. And what was the date of this tweet?
December 14th of 2011.
And again, any blood identifiers, any significance with any gang identifiers in 24W?
When he says duct tape, he actually, instead of spelling it D-U-C-K, he spells it with a double K, not using the C in duct.
Okay. And what about cause?
And also in cause, and then he's got his hashtag ROC within this post as well.
All right. Next, we're going to look at 25W. What's the date of 25W?
January 15th of 2012.
And what does it say?
Excuse the language, it says, ain't giving me shit, so I'm not coming nowhere. Yo shit, gonna get shoot up. FR, exclamation point.
And based on your knowledge transfer, do you know what FR is?
I do.
And what is FR?
Means for real, for real.
All right. And that's on January 15, 2012?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want us to go to 26W. Okay. What's the date of the first tweet on 26W?
January 24th of 2012.
And what does that tweet say?
It says, hey, thugger, baby, got my whole R05, MD5 behind me, yeah.
And based on your knowledge and experience, any significance of the RO5/MD5?
So this is during a time when we knew that Raison Cleveland had a partnership or alliance with MDC, which is Most Dangerous Clique, They came from the Bowen Homes area, northwest Atlanta. Both of them were claiming association with a blood gang, so they were replacing the C in their gang acronym with the number 5. So that's where we get the RO5 and MD5.
Okay. And then is there a tweet beneath that?
There is.
And what is the date of that tweet?
January 2nd of 2012.
And what does that tweet say?
It says, "We literally up, baby, RO5 and MD5, the richest young families out right now."
Okay. And is that RO5 and MD5 the same explanation that you just gave?
Yes, ma'am.
And then do you see that C changed to a K in the word riches?
I do.
All right. And is that consistent with what you testified to, something that you note blood to do? Is that
Outstanding questions.
Is that consistent with what we've already testified?
Yes, ma'am.
But you've already testified about it.
That's correct.
Now looking at State's Exhibit 27W. What's the date of this tweet?
This is April 24th of 2012.
And what is this? What is the tweet?
It has 2 gun emojis and then it says Pistol Pete.
And what, if any, significance is the 2 gun emojis and Pistol Pete?
So Pistol Pete is the nickname for Peter Rollick, the founder of Sex Money Murder, and the 2 guns are the hand sign or the symbol for Sex Money Murder.
All right. Looking at 28W. What's the date of the first tweet on 28W?
April 22nd of 2012.
And what does that tweet say?
This says SMM RO5 MD5 30D Homes hashtag Chico Talk.
And in your experience, what, if any, significance does this have?
He's strung together this alliance that we were observing at the time between Sex Money Murder, Raised on Cleveland, Most Dangerous Click, and 30D. And he's also, when he says Chico Talk, he's replaced both of the C's in Chico with K's.
And then looking at the tweet from August 27th, 2012.
And this one says RO5 Crew / SNM, they riding for Thugga, hashtag Blatt.
All right. And RO5, is that ROC, and would that be Crew?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now looking at 29W. What's 29W? What's the date of that tweet? I'm sorry.
June 21st, 2012.
And what does that tweet say?
It says, everybody go follow Bloody Bro at cartel_DK on Twitter and Instagram, Blatt RT.
All right. And do you know, are you familiar with the at cartel_DK?
I am.
And how are you familiar with that vanity name?
That account was used by Walter Murphy, and that's his nickname.
And was there any significance about cartel?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
So cartel refers to Red Cartel. They're a clique from the same sort of area as Raised on Cleveland. We talked about them back in November, but they were a separate gang with a very close relationship with Raised on Cleveland.
All right. And looking at State's Exhibit number 30W. All right, we're gonna move to State's Exhibit 33W. What is the date of that tweet?
This is September 15th of 2012.
Okay, and what does that tweet say?
It says at cartel_DK and I Rolakin, and then it has a link to an Instagram post.
And what is it? What, if any, significance is there of and I Rolakin?
So again, Rolakin is a reference to Sex Money Murder and Peter Rollick, its founder.
All right. What's the next exhibit? And in 34W, we have the 2 tweets that we just saw from April 22nd and August 27th. We're gonna look at the first tweet. What is the date of the first tweet?
It's January 31st of 2013.
And what does that tweet say?
It says, I'm in love with SMM, we having a baby.
Okay. And SMM, is that Sex Money Murder?
It is.
All right. Looking at 35W. What's the date of that tweet?
For 35?
Yes.
That is January 31st of 2013.
And what does that tweet say?
It says, salute to all my slimes, all my bloods, all the thugs.
All right. Now look at 36W. What's the date of 36W?
That is February 5th of 2013.
And what does the tweet say?
It says, "Don't worry if I'm shooting, long as you get shot."
All right. Look at Exhibit 37W. What's the date of that tweet?
December 13th of 2013.
And what does the tweet say?
Hashtag YSL, Young Slime Life, hashtag slat.
And look at 38W. What's the date?
January 23rd of 2014.
And what does it say?
It says, "Free my slimes, hashtag DK, and hashtag Mondo, all my slimes retweet."
Okay. Any significance with that particular tweet as a gang investigator?
Sure, so obviously referring to these two people hashtagged as his slimes, is including them within the gang membership. Hashtag DK stands for Dewey Cartel, which is Walter Murphy's nickname, and Mondo is the nickname for Fremondo Crenshaw.
All right. Then looking at 39W. Looking at Exhibit 39W, what's the date of 39W?
March 24th of 2015.
And what is the post?
It mentions at Hades Slug and says he has slime with a snake emoji.
Okay, and do you know who was in that picture?
I do.
Who was that?
It's Trontavious Stevens.
All right. And looking at 42W, what's the date of 42W?
May 12th of 2018.
And what is the post?
It says YSL gang, Jonesboro South gang, Bleveland gang, ROC gang, Free Band gang, 21 gang for life, hashtag no matter what.
And what, if any, significance does this particular tweet have with the enumeration of these 5 gangs?
What they're doing here is listing all these gangs together and showing that they have an association with each other.
Okay. Next, I want to go to 43W. And I want to particularly go to the last tweet, which is on May 20, 2012. The bottom. Okay, what does that tweet say?
It says, "Every real white blood wear beads, so don't start no fuck shit, my end."
Okay. And the beads, do you know what beads they're referencing at all?
So oftentimes gang members at the time, and sometimes even now, will wear beads with certain color configurations on them as a way to represent their gang.
Okay. And do those beads consist of the beads that Trontavious Stevens had on in an earlier exhibit?
They do, yes.
All right. Now looking at 44W. Looking at both the first and the second tweet. We'll start with the second tweet first. What date is that second tweet?
It's July 11th of 2012.
And what's the post?
It says hashtag blat, hashtag blat.
And then looking at the third tweet, July 16, 2012. What is that post?
It says hashtag blat, hashtag blat, hashtag blat, hashtag blat, hashtag blat.
And then September 4th, 2012.
That says blat, blat.
Okay. And again, what is blat?
Blood love all the time.
All right. Now we'll look at 45W. Now looking at Stacy Exhibit 45W, want to focus specifically on the tweet that's December 29th, 2011. Do you see that tweet?
Yes, ma'am.
What's tweeted?
It says photo on the Ave with the ROC Crew. SO to at John Rowe Visions.
And what is underneath that?
It has a link.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you 45WA. Is that the link that it went to?
It is.
All right. And looking at Stacey Exhibit 45WA, one, is this, what if any significance is 45WA, the picture?
The picture is a group of people, some of whom are throwing gang hand signs and displaying other gang identifiers in the picture.
And do you recognize any individuals within 45WA?
I do.
And who do you recognize?
I see Mr. Williams. I see Walter Murphy. I see Jason Body, Jamonta Smith, DeMontenez Stevens. That's all I can recognize from here.
Okay, and what I'm going to ask you to do, because I'm sure the jury didn't see who you saw, so if you can take your stick and point out the individual that you just said that you saw.
So this is Mr. Williams. That's Jason Body, Walter Murphy. On the top left is DeMontenez Stevens. This is Jamonta Smith.
I believe that's all the ones I named.
Okay. And you said that you saw some gang identifiers. What, if any, gang identifiers do you see? And what do they represent?
In this picture, Mr. Williams is throwing the hand sign we saw associated with ROC Crew. And then Mr. Smith is throwing a 5-point star. It looks like Mr. Stevens is throwing that blood gang hand sign, as is this gentleman here. You can also see some use of red clothing and red bandana across Mr. Smith's face.
And he has a bandana across his face. How do you know that that's Mr. Smith?
I can recognize him from what's visible in the photograph.
Okay. And have you had experience with him such that you could recognize him?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now I want to look at 46W. I want to direct your attention to the tweet that's on April 14th, 2012. Do you see that tweet?
I do.
All right. And do you see a particular tweet that's in quotes?
I do.
And what's the tweet that's in quotes?
It says, it's that girl Aspen to @Young Thug World, where you been, and then a B emoji.
And then is there a response to that tweet?
There is.
And what's the response?
It says, Bleveland, where the bees be.
And based on your experience, is there a significance between the two B's that are where the bees be?
Yes, often blood gang members will use the red B emoji as a way to represent their gang in their tweets and their posts, and making use of the letter B, referring to the Bloods where the B's, shortening that to Bloods and then saying where they be. That's obviously grammatically incorrect. Bloods will often do that again to elevate their gang, to have another way to insert that word or letter B into what they're saying.
Okay. And I'm gonna look at 48W. And specifically looking at the post that's on August 10th, 2012 at the bottom of the page.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see a tweet?
I do.
In parentheses?
I do.
And what's the tweet that's in parentheses?
It says @Ricky Rose and then a colon, and it says follow the code.
And is there a response after the closed quotation mark?
There is.
And what is it?
It says SMM for life.
All right. Looking at 49W. I want to direct your attention to the post that's on July 1st, 2012.
Yes, ma'am.
And what does that post read?
It says, my blood brother @cartel_DK, #I5FN3 on the way though.
And do you know anything about that #I5FN3?
I do.
Okay, what is that?
So this refers to a mixtape that was being released called I Came From Nothing 3. They, at the time, were using this hashtag ICFN3 as an abbreviation for I Came From Nothing 3. But in this case, they changed the C to a 5 as a way to disrespect Crip gangs and elevate blood gangs.
Okay. And the individual in the picture, do you know who that is?
I do.
And who was that?
And that's Walter Murphy.
All right. And what is Walter Murphy doing in that picture?
He's holding up looks like a flyer for the mixtape.
Okay. Is he doing anything with his other hand?
He is.
What is he doing with his other hand?
He's making that B hand sign with his right hand.
And do you see any of those beads on his hand as well?
I
On
do.
his wrist? And where are those beads at on his wrist?
They're on his right wrist.
All right. Now I want to look at Stacey's Exhibit 50W. And we're going to look at February 16th, 2014.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that tweet say?
It says, "Happy B-Day at Birdman 5-star, love you blood."
Okay. And do you know who at Birdman 5-star, whose vanity name is that?
I do.
And who is that?
Brian Williams.
All right. And does Brian Williams have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
That's Birdman.
All right. And is there any significance with that 5 within 5 stars specifically within his vanity name?
Often within blood gangs, a person of rank or stature may have the rank of 5-star or 5th floor, a high rank, and they may refer themselves as 5-star.
Okay. Now looking at State's Exhibit, on that same State's Exhibit at 50W, I want to direct your attention to May 5th of 2012. Put that on here. Sorry, May 15th, 2012.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that tweet say?
It says, "Where my blood bro at on Bleveland."
All right. And then also looking at January 11th, 2013, what does that tweet say?
It says, "On my bloods, hashtag twisted, we cross it in out, hashtag blat."
Okay. And then on this exhibit, January 31st, 2013,
Yes, ma'am.
what does that tweet say?
"Salute to all my slimes, all my bloods, all the thugs."
All right. Now I'm going to show you